All right. Welcome to another episode of Hit the Mics with Ryan D. I, of course, am Ryan D.
Yo, and I am Steve Rogers.
That's right. And today we got two very special guests. I'm very excited to have a very funny comedian, a friend of mine, Joe Eurell, and D. Rotten, founder of Famcast Media and from the Dungeon Podcast. How are you guys?
Yo, chilling, man, chilling.
Oh, it's good to see you guys. It's good to see you, Joe.
What's up? How are you?
All right, dude. How are you? How you been?
Yeah. Well, it's not been my favorite year, but
Yeah.
ironically, it's not been the worst year. What I keep repeating to myself is 2020, it's no 1997, because that was a shit year for me. So I've been trying to think of it like that, you know what I mean?
Well, what happened in 1997?
I had this fucked up surgery and I was in a lot of pain and I looked more crippled than I am that year. And it was a bad year, you know.
I get
Princess Diana died and yeah.
So what are the plans for the New Year's Eve tonight? You said you're gonna get drunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna get drunk and make fun of the Shield. That show I've been watching. I might nerd out and watch some pro wrestling, because I'm a big pro wrestling fan. But that's basically been it.
You know, instead of like
And actually,
shitting on the
that's cool.
No, my bad. I was gonna say instead of shitting on the Shield, I would like to see you shit on Tito Ortiz more.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's a fun video.
You saw that? Okay.
I watched that video. I fucking hated Tito Ortiz for so goddamn long, so it was just nice to see somebody else just shit all over him.
Oh well, you come to the right man because I've lived in this city for like 20 years, and I've known about this guy. I've seen him around town, and like my brother was on the wrestling team at Tito's alma mater high school, and I'm from a large adopted family. Anyway, my brother, he's from Estonia, and one time Tito was talking to him, and he was like, "Is Estonia part of China still?" And like my brother looked at me like, "Is he joking?" And then Tito realized he screwed up, and he tried to play it off like it wasn't a thing. But
Yeah.
the guy's slow. I mean, the guy's.
For as big as his head is, you would think he'd have a
know.
little bit of brain in there. Like Tito Ortiz is just the fucking worst, man. Like just watching him try to string a sentence together, just like at a press conference, like for the UFC, was just cringeworthy. Like the guy's terrible.
Yeah, I got that clip you sent me. I'm pulling it up.
And then he runs for city council.
Yeah.
And then then he runs for city council.
It does. You know what? It's Huntington Beach, though, so it kind of makes sense that Tito Ortiz is going to be their mayor.
Well, I mean, there's just been this trend over these past couple of years, right? Like Jesse the Body Ventura, wasn't he like a governor or something?
Yeah, he was governor of Minnesota back in the day. But Jesse the Body Ventura actually was a Navy SEAL. He knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah.
See, people have said, "Oh well, Donald Trump ran for president," and look, I would even say Donald Trump is more qualified to be president than Tito Ortiz is to be on city council. Like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't vote for Tito Ortiz to be dog catcher, like, let alone,
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys want to watch this clip that Steve sent me?
It was like for his last fight.
Let's see. Let's watch it.
How you not know you're
I
getting set
love
up?
this.
Yeah.
Tito, go ahead. Tell him what I do so well.
Well, he talks well. His mouth has gotten him in every fight that he's had. And every time when it's time to present and perform, he's failed. on Saturday night, it's not going to change. What I do well, I come in with heart, I come in with determination, I come in with hard work and perseverance. When I get my hand raised, I'll know why. And so all the millions of fans that have had my back over the last 20 years.
Tito always says I'm using my mouth to get my opportunities. The only person I know that made money using their mouth is his ex-wife.
Oh,
There's never no marriage.
Wait for it.
Fucking punk, dude. That's what you call class right here compared to no class.
That was a nasty line.
No class. No class at all. That's why you see him with thongs and fucking jeans and a t-shirt. No class.
They don't call you the bad guy for nothing.
A bad girl.
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he's just like, how do you not? I mean, everything you know about Chael Sonnen, if you're a Fight fan, even Tito knows who this guy is, not know that you're getting set up, you know?
Oh, boy.
Like, tell him what I'm good at. Like, no, fuck you. You know what I'm good at. Like, he's just dumb.
Well, yeah, like and what I found really funny, I don't know if y'all heard him say it, but he goes, "That was never my wife."
Yeah,
And
there was
it's
never
like,
no marriage.
what a weird fucking,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so. I mean, the guy's like, I even said this, you know, there are like 10 more qualified MMA fighters in Huntington Beach that are more qualified to be on city council than that idiot. I mean,
Yeah, I would say
even
Quentin
that
Rampage Jackson.
video, what is up with his eyebrows? Like, what?
I guess just to take the focus off of his giant melon of a head. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
he's
think it's gross.
he can't.
No.
It's like he needs a thesaurus or something. Like I don't even think he knew half those words that he was saying.
No, it was just like he's heard people say those words before. Joe, can you still hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like he's heard people say those words before, so he's just parodying what
Yeah.
other people said without actually knowing the meaning of words.
Yeah,
And it's like, Tito, it's okay. Ryan, we've had this conversation about some people where, like, if we're hanging out, whatever, we're busting each other's balls, and then somebody else tries to get in, but they're not smart enough to know what we're doing. So instead of like making any kind of clever joke, they're like, well, you're fat and your beard doesn't connect. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
fucking stop. Like, you don't know what you're doing. It's okay. It's okay. Just stop. That's Tito Ortiz, his entire, personality. Just doesn't know. He doesn't know how stupid he is.
Well,
Yeah.
He was in TNA wrestling for a hot minute with Rampage Jackson, and they both sucked ass.
Yeah.
Funny
Oh,
enough,
I didn't know they wrestled.
funny
Yeah.
enough, funny enough, his wife was in TNA wrestling too, tits and ass.
Oh. See, but here's the difference with Rampage. I don't think Rampage is a smart guy either, but he's fucking entertaining. Like, you can make me laugh. But Tito is just like, man, go somewhere. Go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, whose boy is this? Who invited him?
I mean, he
Yeah.
is the. I mean, he. I mean, it's Huntington Beach.
And then he believes in QAnon.
Yeah.
So Joe, you're are you? You're from Huntington,
It's,
right? Did you hear me?
well, I've lived here. I've lived here for like 20, 21 years now, and I moved here from South Carolina. So, like, it's really weird because I left South Carolina and then I moved to South Carolina of Orange County, and that was pretty cool, and like, no, but Huntington's all right, I guess, if you're from South Carolina, but I can understand why people would want to leave here,
Yeah. Well, now I'm in San
But to
Bernardino.
me, it's always been.
Go ahead.
I gotta say, San Bernardino's not that bad.
It's all right.
I would say,
I've met some interesting people. It's been it's like, I feel like everyone has an opinion of different cities, especially being in LA and stuff, but it's like this area is it is very like Wild West kind of country-ish area, but But some of the people I've interacted with haven't been too bad. So just a few crazies.
Yeah, there's good people everywhere.
Well, I'm coming from the East Coast. What's wrong with Huntington Beach? Why are you guys like laughing at it?
Oh, okay. So Huntington Beach, like when California had the first lockdown order here, and like people, you should wear masks out in public. Huntington Beach, people of Huntington Beach had to protest wearing masks and protest staying at home to save other people's lives. So they were very anti-science, anti-empathy, just like fucking the government's trying to control us. I don't want to wear a muzzle on my face. And it's like, it's a mask, dickhead. You wear it for 10 minutes when you go grocery shopping. Like, stop it.
Yeah, they were the first. Yeah, they were like marching in the streets and shit.
But I mean, aren't they by the beach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are they complaining about? They got a beautiful view and everything.
People call Huntington Beach the Florida of California.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Which is really weird because I live right off Florida Street, so But yeah, what's funny, when that happened on May 5th, I was my wheelchair broke a little after lockdown started, and so I was in my room for like 5 weeks. I couldn't really move around because my electric wheelchair broke. And that was right around the time that lockdown or that protest happened. And I was like, you whiny bastards. Like, you had it so well that you can walk around outside and all you're being asked to do is cover your fucking face.
Yeah.
And if anybody's to have a problem with wearing masks, it's me, because I already have trouble speaking, and now it just adds an extra layer of people going, what do you say? And I have to like be nice, because I'm like, no, it's all right,
Yeah, never mind.
But, I got really mad at this protest. Like, I thought I was gonna have a brain aneurysm.
Yeah, it's insane. Indeed, like being from the East Coast, I'm pretty sure you've probably heard like, oh, California has these strict lockdown rules. We really fucking don't. We could go anywhere we want at this point. The malls are open, stores are open. We can go anywhere. So like people are like, California has this lockdown, it's not working. It's not working because it's not a real lockdown. Like
I heard LA County's like fucking closed out. Like you don't even go to work.
Bro, my gym is still open in San Dimas in LA County. I could go. It's outside. I haven't gone, but like things are still open. It's like when they say stay at home, it's like you can stay at home. We want you to stay at home, but we can't stop you. And so people are out doing whatever the fuck they want.
It is eerily closed in a way that like you can't go and dine in at a restaurant and stuff like that, and so LA seems, because most of LA is fucking, restaurants and bars. It's like that's our outside, that's our daylight, nightlife and shit. So it's like that does suck that's what sucks the most, I think. The essential things are still open, grocery stores and malls and all that shit or whatever. But what the hardest thing, and that's what everyone's really complaining about, is there's a lot of the small businesses, the mom and pop pizza shop, the fucking the dive bar that only had regulars already, and and now it's like now they're not allowed to open their doors. And
but here's another thing, D, like with like the bars and stuff. Bars had to close unless you sold food. If you sold food, like you had a bar and grill, you could stay open.
That's stupid.
So or like there were some breweries we went to, and like we could go there, but like you had to order food from the food truck in order to sit down there and drink.
They didn't start doing that until way later. That was the thing, was like they had breweries who didn't sell food were fucked. They were only, I mean, like I was working for one, and it was just like it was hard. It's like, it's not, because you just have to assume that people are going to come and just buy stuff to go. But it's like, why would you do that if I'm going out and I'm going to the store, like I'm just going to buy beer at the store. I'm not gonna make an extra trip to just buy your beer unless I really want it.
See, but the weird thing is, I heard on Rogan, bro, the other day that he was talking to somebody from LA County, and they were like restaurant owners or something, and they were saying that they're not doing anything, like they haven't proved that you can catch it indoors or outdoors, with everything, but they're just closing shit down. Period. Over there.
Yeah.
There are stuff that's closed, but I mean, like, I could go if I wanted food right now. I could all the little fast food places, restaurants down the street from my place are open. I can walk in and go grab something. It's just you can't sit inside and eat. You can still go and do these places. And number two, Joe Rogan is the Dr. Oz of guys. Everything he says is true. Like, a lot of it is, but motherfucker, you were rich as shit, living not in LA. I mean, I guess LA County, but you're mansion up in the hills, you're not down here. Shit does suck, and people are losing their businesses, but it's not this hellish landscape that people are putting out to be. I see people online shitting on California all the time about our lockdowns and stuff like that. But it's you motherfuckers don't live here. I got invited to a New Year's Eve party at a warehouse tonight. Those things still happen. Underground raves are still happening.
All that stuff is still happening.
Yeah, so it's not as strict as people are making it out to be.
But it is very unfortunate for a lot of us.
Yeah, Herman.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say, I feel like Herman Cain is taking this hoax way too far.
Oh fuck. Yeah. He has it doubled now.
Hey, did you guys know Herman Cain got COVID-19?
Oh fuck.
Have you been, I mean, I'm like, so have you been?
You know what's funny? And I kind of hate to pull the card, but
I'll be right back.
What I found really funny about this year is watching all these able-bodied people suddenly have to live like people who are infirmed, people who are disabled. My dad is a quadriplegic who's gotten bed sores before. I've kept him in bed for 18 months. And he ran his small business, which it's a little bit different. But, I just find it funny watching people suddenly realize that they can't do anything they want. And I kind of love it. I kind of love it a little bit. Welcome to my world, you fuck.
That's crazy. I never thought about it that way, or never looked at it from that angle. But
what's actually, I wanted to ask you something, and I don't mean any offense to this at all, but I just I was wondering this, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question because I know I've ridden one before. When you get around, is there a special Uber or something for somebody in a wheelchair or something?
Not really, and it's really expensive, but there is something called Access, which is it's kind of like Uber, but if Uber didn't give a fuck about you because it's a free ride and it's the only option you have, so they're gonna treat you like shit because it's free.
Yeah.
And it's called Access. And basically how it works is if you're disabled and you supposedly can't ride the bus, the shitty bus, you call these people and they give you a ride that's a 30-minute window of when they pick you up, and then they pick you up. Sometimes they pick up other disabled people along the way, and it sucks, but it's a free ride. And it's actually when I started doing comedy, that's how I got around a lot in Orange County.
Yeah. Another thing with that, I mean, I don't do stand up, but how are the clubs? Are they accessible at all? Getting you up on stage?
Not all of them, I would think.
No, not really. Sometimes I bring somebody with me to help me on stage. Sometimes I would have to show up with a portable ramp. And because, sometimes people don't have ramps. And that's, one of my biggest pet peeves with able-bodied assholes and bipedal bitches is people are always trying to call me wheels. I hate being called wheels. I'd rather be called ramps And so that's my deal. I'd show up with my own ramp. And, I'm pretty happy with it,
How many people have called you Professor X?
But yeah. Nobody could say, no, I hate that weird motherfucker. Okay. Professor X.
Yeah.
Professor X is the Jeffrey Epstein of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
This guy is a creep. He's a pedophile.
Oh shit!
Look, I've been saying the same. Look,
none of you.
I agree with you. And I've been saying the same thing about Bruce Wayne for a long time.
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
Bruce Wayne is just
Go ahead.
Bruce Wayne is just an emo little bastard, but
emo little bastard. He goes and picks little athletic boys from the orphanage to come live with him. Has Bruce Wayne had a real girlfriend that we know about that's canon?
Oh yeah, I forgot about.
Yeah, he just finds a little athletic boy, gets him when he was young, relives his trauma with that little kid. It's like no one's asking questions. Bruce Wayne, why are you only getting little boys?
I guess Bruce Wayne's the Michael Jackson of the DC universe.
You guys are fucking cruel.
Yes.
Think about it. Real life, say like Bill Gates didn't have a wife; he lived alone, and then every like 10 years he goes and adopts a little boy, and then we never hear from that little boy again. He ends up moving cities, not having a good relationship with them at all. Like, yo, what do you do to these little kids and make them hate you so much? It's like, don't worry about it. Give me another one.
Yeah, it is. Bruce Wayne is just generally really creepy anyway. Like having a butler. I don't trust anybody who has a butler. How fucking lazy are you? Like, but no, you know what my problem with Charles Xavier is? He has mind control, but he's still rolling around in a fucking wheelchair. Like, why doesn't he just get somebody to like give him their stem cells or get some antimonium or fucking something and get walking again? And also, like, he built Cerebro, right? Cerebro, the giant computer that can hear everybody's thoughts. But it only works if he's got a bald head. What the fuck? What kind of stupid bullshit is that? And
listen,
I think Dr. Jean Grey had a breakdown and became Phoenix because Charles Xavier was psychologically assaulting her, and she couldn't tell anybody about it. And nobody wants to talk about this because he's got everybody on mind control, and he's really the supervillain of the X-Men story.
Yo, you guys got Stanley rolling in his grave right now, bro. What the fuck?
I love this theory. Do you get so bent out of shape when we figure out that the good guys are actually the bad guys?
Yeah. Think about it, like,
and then he's making people like. Now I will hold on before I go any further. I will say, if Disney offered me $2 million, I'll shave my head and put a blanket over my legs and play Charles Xavier. So there is that.
Why not?
Play Charles Xavier at some offers, but
whatever works, man. Everyone needs that money. But D, why do you get bent out of shape when we do this?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you ever want to break down your characters?
I'm not getting bent out of shape. It's just I'm just like, man, I don't know. I like this because those are my happy those are my happy moments. Those guys. So it's like I don't know. It's like when I see them doing bad stuff or somebody says, I'm like, don't ruin my happy place.
Yeah, it was hard. Like when some I came up with the whole pedophile Bruce Wayne thing years ago, but then like someone brought up like Batman, he just beats up poor people. He's a billionaire. He could solve Gotham's problems with his money, but he chooses not to. He just wants to beat up poor people that are poor because his corporate, it's like, oh shit, he kind of does suck.
Yeah,
like it's like, oh, he breaks like Joker's henchman. He's like, nigga, I'm just trying to feed my family. Like,
right. That was when you brought up to me. Is like, imagine trying to steal a loaf of bread for your family, and then Batman breaking your fucking arm.
Yeah. Now I can't afford like the medical bills. Now I'm even more debt. Now I got to do more crime, Batman. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, Two-Face was just trying to clean up the police department, like.
Yeah. Joker just wanted to make people laugh.
I can never look at fucking.
It's funny. D.
Wait, what happened?
I was gonna say, I hope you know I really don't believe he's a pedophile.
I know. No, I know, man. It's first like cause my wife hates Batman, bro. She says that Batman's the fucking worst character ever made because he doesn't have no superpowers. She said he doesn't have superpowers, bro. He's a piece of shit. He's like,
the best.
But I mean, I don't know. I love Batman, too.
Batman's great. I love him too, but I just like taking the piss out and just like fucking with his character.
Yeah,
you couldn't have gotten like another grown sidekick, another guy that was like bent out of shape. You could have found another poor dude in the alley in Gotham. Stop taking these drugs and stealing. Come work with me. Let's lift some weights.
You are kind of right though. When they get older, he gets rid of them.
Yeah. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio dating anyone over 25. It's like, you gotta go. Where's the next 12-year-old?
Okay, let me ask you guys something. Who's the best Batman?
Kevin Conroy.
Who?
Mine's Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
The voice of Batman.
If we're going voice, then I'm gonna have to go with the '90s Batman. Yeah.
Conroy.
But if we're going face,
let's talk about cinema then.
Okay, movie. All right, you go first.
I honestly my favorite was Affleck. Even though I hated those movies, that Dark Knight Returns style was my favorite fucking version of Batman, and everything about Batman in those movies were my favorite parts of those movies. Even though those movies sucked, I just all the Batman moments were fucking great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For me, I mean, I would have to agree. Affleck was my favorite cinematic Batman. I mean, I guess second would be Keaton because I was just the first, but Christian Bale, that growl he did just bothered me as Batman. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
But no, Affleck.
Oh, we got a question. We got a question in the comments. Let's
shit.
Give me a question. What is it?
Yeah.
There might be somebody fucking with me. I hope not, but
Taco Maniac.
Let's get it. Let's hear it. Send it in.
Taco Maniac.
But D, who's your favorite Batman?
I mean, I'm gonna feel like a fucking jerk off because I was gonna say Val Kilmer, but I like Val Kilmer. I guess I'm being biased because he was Jim Morrison, but
Val Kilmer was great though.
But I mean, if you're really it's Affleck, dude. Affleck.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe?
I like George Clooney.
What?
Really?
I gotta hear why. Man.
I liked him on the yard.
You like the bat nipples?
Yeah.
No, I you know what's weird is I liked the Clooney movie for everything else around Clooney. I really like Seal's song he did for Batman. So yeah, it was a good song. No bullshit. It was a good song.
Okay, this is an interesting question. I didn't realize was going to be so personal. If you had to pick one of the other guys to be your New Year's kids, who would it be?
What?
I think I'd kiss D. Because then, because it would turn less heads. Everyone would be like, "Oh, those two bears look like they'd be butt fucking each other."
Oh God.
Taco Man, what's going on with you, bro? It's New Year's. What's up with this? You drinking too much?
I guess already. Party started.
Oh man, fucking taco maniac.
Oh, okay. So since we're talking about comic books, did we all? I know Ryan did. Did we all check out Wonder Woman '84?
I guess, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Good luck, Joe.
Yeah.
Are you going to? Do you care to watch it at all?
I don't think I have access to it. Is it on
HBO Max?
HBO Max.
No, I don't have HBO Max because every time I hear HBO Max, there is some drama, and like, so I don't have it.
But yeah, like you said, good luck.
I might read about it and pretend like I watched it.
Okay,
that's better. Trust me.
We can try and talk about it without spoiling too much. I think. I mean, it's.
I don't know if it's possible.
It is.
Because the only thing that's good about it is
I didn't even do okay. So they got mad.
I don't mind.
They got mad at me on Humcast for spoiling the fucking cameo, but I'm like, everyone knew that, didn't they? What was
Dude, I knew that was supposed to happen in the first one,
right?
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you have to do that with her. But I mean, I was looking so forward to this movie. Wonder Woman was like my favorite DCEU movie, and it just fell off a cliff.
I'm scared for Black Widow now because they hyped up Wonder Woman so much and they pushed it off. I'm scared for Black Widow now.
Yeah,
because if it's like Wonder Woman,
no.
Ooh,
At worst, Black Widow will be Thor 2. I don't think Marvel and any of the MCU movies will be as bad as this last Wonder Woman. And speaking of Wonder Woman, one of the things I was talking to Ryan about, I saw someone tweet something about the movie before I watched it, and I thought it was a joke. And they were saying, this isn't going to spoil anything, but they said, the tweet said something about like, it seems like Wonder Woman like put a diversity algorithm in the computer and it spit out an Indian, Jamaican, Rastafarian, Mayan shaman as a character. And I thought they were joking. But yeah, there was an Indian, Jamaican, Mayan shaman for no fucking reason in this movie to cover up for the fact that someone else always brought up. They were in DC in 1984. In DC in 1984 was 70% black, and there's like no black people in this movie. And there was a scene where there's some kids are breakdancing because it's the 80s and they're breakdancing, and they were all like white kids.
Yeah,
and so like, oh fuck, we got to fix this. Like Indian, Jamaican, Mayan shaman for no fucking reason. It's just like,
when I saw that breakdance part, I was like, they gotta be in the suburbs.
Yeah, like there's were white kids breaking in the 80s?
There was no white people breaking in the 80s that much.
Yeah,
man. It was mostly like it was like Latinos and blacks.
Yeah. So it was just man, the CGI was bad. The story didn't make any sense. It was so bad.
Yeah. And then the dummy kids. We mentioned the dummy kids.
The kid, the two Arab kids who didn't hear the fucking gunfire and trucks and tanks barreling down the highway, just playing in the middle of the street. I guess Arab kids are deaf. Like I don't get it.
but she saves them, and they spend just like a second too long on the fucking frame, so you can totally tell she's holding on to two fucking clear dummies that aren't moving.
Yeah, it's little mannequins, like the timeout kids. You ever seen those toys where it's like the kids in timeout, and it's just like a life-size doll of like a little child, and they're like in the corner with their hands out. Yeah. That's what they look like attached to her body.
Yeah.
Did anybody do cocaine in the movie?
No.
Great point. No one did cocaine in the movie.
I was gonna say, you talking about us. I was like, not in 10 years.
Yeah.
Even I did cocaine watching the movie.
Yeah. It just,
Okay, because if there's no cocaine in 1984, I don't believe it. You know,
Yeah.
like there's got to at least be one person doing one line of cocaine.
The main villain, Pedro Pascal, should have been coked out.
That's what I was about to say. I think it was insinuated that he was a cokehead.
Yeah.
Just
no, they should have showed it, and they should have just been honest. Because if it's 1984, there's at least one person, you know, just statistically. And yes, I just did say that. That should be doing cocaine. You know, it's unacceptable.
I just thought about this right now. The soundtrack, was it any popular bands from the 80s either? I don't know.
None. I can't think of any like 80s song that was in that. And it's just like, how did you drop that ball? Like, it's 1984. You put like have something. You wasted all your money in the shitty like costumes that people were wearing instead of like, throw some money in the soundtrack.
Yeah, there wasn't a good soundtrack. You're right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. It's 84. Oingo Boingo should be playing like something.
Fucking mode.
But no. Oh, and another thing. I don't know if this is going to be a spoiler. I don't know if you care, Joe.
Still watch it.
My biggest gripe, like in the beginning, that made me turn my head as we were watching it, is like how mean everybody was to Kristen Wiig for no reason. And it was like a she's all that. It's like, oh hi, good morning. Like, shut up, bitch. Like, why is everybody so mean to her? Like, it was she has curly hair and glasses. She's a nerd.
She's an ugly nerd. Curly hair and glasses. Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. She's like this scientist that works at the museum with all these people. Like, no, she has glasses and she's weird and wants to be friendly with people. Like, ugh.
She was hot. I don't know what's wrong with those fucking
people. Because Hollywood gets like cute people to be in their movies, and like, how do we make them ugly? Curly hair and glasses. Disgusting. Like, what?
I guess I'm ugly.
Yeah. How about just cast an actual? Why is Hollywood like? Know what I love about movies from the 80s actually is how ugly people were, and it just felt more real. Like, even look at the Ghostbusters. You're never gonna see like a movie, comedy, whatever, where the 4 lead actors are just like 4 schlummy looking dudes. You know, that's gone. Like Chris Hemsworth. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is just funny in general, but like Chris Hemsworth, you can't be that attractive and that funny all the time. Like,
that's the thing. It's like the you know, these fucking guys who are like, they're everything, right? Like John Hamm's like hilarious too.
Yeah,
it's like, fuck, man, they're taking all of it. They took our gym.
Chris Farley died, and so did the ugly funny dude.
Well, Seth Rogen. if we want to fucking cast buff midgets, I guess we'll go with Joe Rogan. But Seth Rogen, you know, really tried to bring that back, I guess, right? Like, that, I mean, a lot of his crew and friends are pretty schlubby.
Yeah, except for like James Franco, and then Jonah Hill lost a bunch of weight. And
I just thought of something. Now, you know how fucking Wonder Woman 84 blew chunks, right? Now, do you think every movie that they postponed for 2020 is going to blow chunks?
I hope not. What else got delayed? I know it was Black Widow. And if I'm honest, I never really gave a shit about Black Widow.
Has anybody heard anything about Highlander reboot?
What? No, please, they better not, dude. Stop touching classics, man.
Did they already do one?
No, they didn't. No.
I heard they were going to do one with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, my God.
No.
They'll probably make it a comedy. So they're trying.
Of course.
Well, you know, that's what I've been watching. I've been rewatching the old TV series Highlander.
That's a good series.
It's really quite funny, you know?
Yeah.
Because I like to get high and watch Highlander.
There could be only one, Joe.
Yeah.
There was a time where Garrett and I would watch fucking Hercules.
I love that show
Kevin Sorbo.
That show like is so cheese, but it's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know what bothers me about Kevin Sorbo is not that he's conservative, but just that, like, I'm okay with him being conservative in his own self, but, like, I just resent the fact that Kevin Sorbo thinks his opinions matter. Because it's like, dude, you were on USA Network.
You're on USA Network, and all he does now are like Christian movies nobody watches
and conventions.
Yeah, that's fine, but like, stop acting like you're Ron Howard or fucking Spielberg or something.
You're a cable TV show personality. Act like it.
You were on Touched by an Angel, bro.
Ew.
Remember Touched by an Angel?
Yeah. Well, at least that was network. That was NBC.
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo has never been on NBC.
Reruns. Well, no, that was WB, I think.
WB, I think. Yeah. Disappointed.
But
you know what bugs me, y'all, is do y'all remember that show Boston Public?
Yeah.
I was on that show for like 2 episodes, and it's not on any streaming service, and that really fucking bugged me.
Wait, you were really on that show?
I don't know why. Yeah, I was.
Oh shit!
Really?
And sometimes it bugs me until I remember what I did on that show, and then I'm kind of happy it's not available, because effectively what happens is when one of the scenes, I shit my pants because I can't get into the bathroom.
Oh shit!
And but it like bugs me because I want to show people I was on TV because they want to brag.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to be like, here's a portrayal of me shitting my pants.
It's true, man.
I know. I gotta be. Can I tell y'all a funny story from that?
Of course.
From that, that thing, those 3 episodes of that terrible TV show I was on, led to one of the most savage burns I've ever seen anybody do. And it was because in the show, part of the plot was I had to be in a swimming pool, and the majority of my character's appearances were in a swimming pool, and because of that, I had like a thing in my contract that said the water had to be warm because I couldn't be in cold water too long.
Yeah.
And so it was like whatever, like, we're doing the thing, we're doing it, and it's like hot tub temperature, swimming pool water because of my muscle pain and stuff. And so we're doing it, and it takes like 4 days. We're on set for like 3 or 4 days. And there was this woman who was like the mom of another disabled person. And she came up to my dad and I cussed us out because the water was too warm. Her daughter couldn't be in the scene, and so, but her daughter was nonverbal, and like she was cussing me out, and I had no idea like why this woman was so angry at me. And then out of nowhere, my dad was like, "Ma'am, with all due respect, if we put your daughter in that pool, it's going to be vegetable soup." And he just rolled away like,
oh shit!
And it was the most like if anybody asks me about that, that's sort of what I remember from that experience. And it's hilarious because the funny thing is my dad doesn't even really remember it that much because it was just something he would naturally say, not anything. But
I just wish I was there to see the look on that woman's face as he did that. Called it vegetable soup and just rolled away. She's standing there with her chin on the floor.
I was she didn't know what to say. She was just stunned, and he rolled away. He rolled away first, and I was waiting for her to follow up because I wanted to. She had nothing. And but I got to go swimming with Michael Rappaport, so that was a fun experience.
That was years ago then. So you were a kid. You were a kid on that show.
I was 13, 14.
Was that in the 2000s, that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2002.
So you've always been in showbiz then, right? I mean, when did you?
Well, my mom adopted me off the internet, and my mom adopted several dozen disabled kids, and my mom was always big on trying to help disabled people become actors because it's one of the few jobs where you can have a job, and my mom was trying to, help people be involved, and she knew I always wanted to be a comedian, and so she was like, "Oh, you should become an actor because comedians and actors, are supposed, even though it's not a great relationship, comedy and acting. It's a very, but so I got into acting so it would improve my comedy.
Yeah,
and but I like SAG, I really do, because I've gotten a couple residual checks from those episodes. So
it was 2 cents.
Yeah, couple cents.
No, it was $40 because it played somewhere in Germany, because apparently in Germany people like Boston Public, and so that was a really, and the money I made, I saved it till I was 21, and I went to Ireland.
Oh, nice.
And Scotland, cool. And Paris, and yeah.
So when you finally started doing stand up, were they cool with that, or and when did you start?
Oh yeah, they I didn't start stand up till I was 26, because I'll put it this way, I went crazy for a little while in my life, and I got 5150 when I was 19, because I got into an argument with my brother, and that kind of set me back 5 years mentally, and I didn't start doing stand-up till I was 26. And because I was just, I didn't want to hear anybody say anything to me about my voice. I had a weird sense of humor. And then one day I just started, I realized it wasn't funny to go out in a kilt and try to be funny that way. Because I used to think kilts were the funniest thing anybody ever did. Because they fucking are, they really fucking are funny, but it wasn't gonna work. And so what it was is, it took me a very long time to be cool enough to joke about my own disability. And and I had really thin skin. And you're not supposed to admit you have thin skin, but I did, and so I and it's weird because then I got into roast battle where people are literally just making fun of my disability to my face all the time. But it's cool, it's just you grow up and you mature about things and you realize that some stuff you didn't think mattered, or some stuff you thought mattered doesn't really mean that much. And
what
smoke weed, what I mean?
Yeah. So were you surprised by like the amount of support that you got when like getting into stand up and the roast battle community?
I got into roast battle because I was skeptical at first. I'm like, I don't want strangers just shitting on my face for no reason.
Yeah.
But I saw Keith Carey and Olivia Grace, and I realized I want to do that. I want to do that, and then I just did it, and then one turned into two, and then two turned into like 26 of these, or like whatever it is. It's
you ended
like
up doing the show. Didn't you do the show too? The TV show?
Yeah. The I was on one of the internet battles for season 3, but it was a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. And doing roast battle only helped my stand up, and I've always been a pro wrestling fan and a little bit of a shit talker. I kind of like. I shouldn't admit this, but there's a part of me that likes upsetting people because I know they can't do anything to me. And I shouldn't like that much.
Yeah.
But if you guys, all I'm saying, if you guys knew, if you guys felt what I feel when I do that, you would totally get it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to press a lot of buttons on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. It seems to. You and I weren't friends at the beginning over something. I could be pretty sensitive myself. I don't even really remember what it was.
No, I troll people. I put the role in troll, and it's sometimes I go too far. Sometimes I forget wrestling's not real.
Yeah.
Hey, wrestling's real, bro. The outcome's not real, but wrestling's real.
Chris Benoit.
Oh man. He didn't just go. He just went there.
Jesus.
Oh, that's touchy.
Oh, man. But what was? Didn't you get into something with like Steve Byrne on Twitter or something?
Steve Byrne. That was fun. I hate to tell you guys this, but I gotta run soon. But I'll tell this.
Oh yeah, we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna wrap it in about 2 minutes. Is that cool?
Yeah. Basically, what happened was Steve Byrne said something about defund the police, and he said something like, I never realized how many comedians are expert in state budgets. So I replied back, I have a graduate degree in public administration, and the amount of excessive force lawsuits that any given police department has is a real financial constraint on any municipality. Shut up. And then he said something like, you aspire to be me, or you're not a real comedian. And I'm like, well, I don't aspire to be an asshole. And we squashed it, but again, it's like, if you thought, he's the guy who gave Owen Benjamin a career, so he could go fuck himself. I'm kidding. Sullivan's son should have been called backwash. But anyway, no, he's fun. He's fun. It's cool. By the way, speaking of Steve Byrne, did you hear he moved to Nashville? And do you hear he did a show on Christmas morning in Nashville? It was like an RV.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He bombed it.
that's not funny.
I was like,
Oh God.
Give me a second. Oh my God. All right, man. I think we'll let you go then. We really appreciate you coming on, dude. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you, guys. I'm gonna watch Wonder Woman. It sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you around then. I'll see you, Joe. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Joe.
Bye.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that was fun. He's funny dude, man. Bye.
I got one comment.
What's up?
Hey, Taco Maniac, go fuck yourself. I just noticed what he fucking wrote. I'm like, Taco Maniac, go fuck yourself.
Wait, you didn't see what he said?
No, I didn't see it till right now.
Yeah.
You would like it. You want this. You want these luscious lips, bro. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap the live stream right here. You want to stick around for a second? We'll chat for a bit, but
yeah.
So I'm gonna end the broadcast.